Indiana Jones and ropes and lariats and things like that. And he was 10 and a half years old, and he accidentally hanged himself. And when we found him, he was really gone. We performed CPR. He was left in a coma for a while, and when he came out of the coma, he couldn't speak. He was a quadriplegic.
That was in 1996. Jason was in the hospital and the Children's Rehabilitation Center for 11 months.
We came home and thought we could find some help for us at home, some services that would support him and support our family. And we felt very fortunate because we felt like we could afford to pay for those services if we could just find them. And there weren't any.
Jason would never regain the ability to speak, but he recognized the people in his life, laughed at jokes, and at his favorite funny movies. He would live 5 more months before complications from the brain injury took his life. Fran and her husband Greg channeled their grief into building Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia to help people who have suffered a brain injury as well as their families. The organization covers 12,000 square miles in Southwest Virginia and parts of Southside Virginia.
Clifford needed Emily, so they chose down from her road. And a love made Clifford grow so big that the hours had to leave their home. Clifford's loyal, he's there when you
Jaden loves it when her sisters Pasha and Nicole sing to her.
I came home sort of thinking I knew what our situation was, but no, I really didn't.
When Doug and Patty Huffman adopted Jaden, she was developmentally delayed. Doug and Patty showered her with love and attention, and Jaden thrived.
It was about 10 days in that she had her first epileptic seizure, and they started off at about 30 seconds each, the first couple, and then they escalated. We were at the ER probably every 2 weeks for about 4 months.
December 21st, 2007, Jaden woke up in a grand mal seizure. Her liver and kidneys had shut down, and on Christmas Eve, Jaden was in UVA Hospital on pediatric dialysis. At some point during the medical emergency, Jaden suffered a brain injury.
Brain Injury Services initially just helped us to be able to navigate our way through equipment needs, scholastic needs, services that were available through the IEP and things that would be available to Jaden as far as homeschool services and therapies.
Jaden was just a toddler when she came home from the hospital. As she grew, getting her in and out of the house was difficult. So Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia found the funding to outfit the Huffman house with a lift.
It just gives a level of comfort to know that there are resources available and someone who understands some of the red tape, I'll call it.
Anyone who's had an injury to their brain at all and notices some kind of change in how they think or in their emotions or in their behaviors or in their physical abilities, or if their family notices it, then all they need to do is call Brain Injury Services. I set out by myself, but I didn't do it by myself. My husband Greg has been my partner on the business side, and our mentors in Northern Virginia worked with us, and just all the people who came together in Southwest Virginia, our board, our staff, they've all been a part of building this. But I also feel like it was an organization, it was a service that was meant to happen, and I really feel like there was a greater power that helped move it along.
Before I could remember anything under the sun, remember names, numbers, faces, and now it's faded away.
Alan Horton served in the United States Navy during Operation Enduring Freedom in 2002. A fall on the ship he was working on left him with a traumatic brain injury. He did not realize there were services in our area for brain injury survivors until he saw a Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia brochure in a medical clinic. And with the help of a case manager, Alan set attainable goals.
I got out of between $17,000 and $20,000 worth of debt in less than 3 years. Well, a little bit over 3 years.
It's a person-centered plan. It starts with what does the client want. We leave the medical issues to the doctors and the nurses and the hospitals, and they do a great job with that. We help with the other aspects of life.
Alan's brain injury affects his short-term memory. For example, he can't remember taking a 30-minute trip.
A lot of times, like if I just traveled to Withville or Galax, I don't even remember driving there.
Many of our folks have to relearn some of those very basic things, and that's where we use our life skills trainer.
The life skills trainer helps clients relearn things such as how to balance a checkbook, how to make a grocery list and go shopping, as well as develop coping skills. Alan adopted the compensatory skill of using a notebook.
A lot of times I like to take notes, like where I'm at somebody or what my plan is for today.
We advocate using the little yellow stickies and putting them in appropriate places to make those reminders. Remember to take your medication. Some of our folks even have difficulty with that, so we assist them in purchasing medication boxes that have alarms on it.
Brain injury is called the silent epidemic. Often there are no outward physical signs of the injury, yet the person is very different than they were before the incident that caused the brain injury. The symptoms of acquired brain injury can be subtle. They include headaches or neck pain that don't go away, difficulty remembering, concentrating, or making decisions, slowness in thinking, speaking, or acting, getting lost or easily confused, depression, feeling sad or angry for no reason, and changes in sleep patterns. Alan uses his sense of humor to cope with his symptoms.
I just try to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I'll tell people I had a brain fart. What'd you say your name is again?
In Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia's coverage area, tens of thousands experience the lasting effects of brain injury. There is no cure, only services which help survivors live their best possible lives.
Hello, Jean. Welcome to Click. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Jean Grossclose has diabetes. Doctors believe her oxygen was cut off when she went into a diabetic coma. When Jean awoke, she had suffered a brain injury.
I got what you call brittle diabetes, and I can pass out any time. I'll be fine 1 minute and gone the next.
It was very depressing. You know, one day you go to school and your mom's fine, and the next you come back, getting ready to go to, the Friday night football game, and then all of a sudden, she's in a coma, and then the doctor tells you, hey, she's never going to walk again, or she's never going to be able to, speak coherently again. So it's very depressing. It kind of it changes your whole world right then and there. It all kind of falls apart.
I said, no way. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to come back. And I did.
She didn't listen to them. When they said she wasn't going to be able to do something, she always, strove to achieve more, and she's done that. And that's kind of having that role model in your life is something that's very, very important, and it kind of just builds confidence in yourself that, if she can go through all these troubles, if she can do all this, then there's nothing that you yourself can't do.
Jean's brain injury left her with no short-term memory. Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia has helped her throughout her recovery.
When she needed blood glucose test strips, they got them for my mom. Those are very expensive.
They got me glasses through the Lions Club. They got me the first denture, the top denture. They done a lot for me.
Now Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia is helping Jean through a program the organization created called CLICK, which stands for Community Living Connection. It's an online telehealth program. There's a moderator for a group of about 10 people that meet several times a week via the internet.
I like CLICK. I think it's helped me a lot. It's made me come out of my shell a little bit, because when I had the brain injury, I was in the shell.
what you're going to do is you're going to tell me the actual color of the word itself, what color the word is written in, instead of the text of the word. So this one we'll do as an example.
Okay, all right.
The word itself is gray, but what color is the word?
Yellow.
Is it green?
Yellow.
What color?
Oh, the color of the word is green.
The color of the word.
We focus on 3 areas in CLIC: cognitive retraining, compensatory strategies, and reducing social isolation. We're creating a learning environment for our survivors, but also we're creating a safe area for people to redevelop social skills.
It feels great because you got new friends and they have the same problems you have. So it is what it is. We call each other and check on each other.
Everybody gets together. Hey, so-and-so, how you doing? It's great to see you again. And those kind of opportunities don't always exist where people are living. You have to remember our population is spread throughout all of Southwest Virginia. We have many, many rural clients in far Southwest Virginia that there's no public transportation, there's no easy way for them to get out and to do things.
As Program Director of Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia, Frank Hayes has seen lasting change in his clients.
We've seen this happen. We've seen folks that have improved their cognition. They are reintegrated into their families and into their communities more so through CLIC than they were beforehand.